And for more on this, I'm joined now by Leila Talani from King's College London. She's the director of its Centre for Italian Politics. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to the programme.
And thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. So, Leila, Giorgia Meloni, poised to become Italy's first female leader, also the first far-right leader since World War II. Firstly, how significant is this, and what does it say about Italy today?
Well, it is incredibly significant for two reasons. First, because as you said, she is the first female leader to become prime minister whenever she'll be appointed, and this is an historical moment, and I would say good news for Italy. But on the other hand, is also a female leader of a very far-right party, and this is also an historical event because the far-right parties, especially fascist parties, have been outlawed by the Italian constitution after Mussolini. So it is a very momentous situation for us.
So let's talk about some of these policies, as you say, socially very conservative. We know she's spoken out against LGBT rights. She wants to stem migration, among others, and also quite anti-European. Are we expecting big changes coming to Italy?
But she's anti-European. She used to be anti-European. Now she's shifted toward a much more European stance. But still, it doesn't mean that she is pro-European in the sense that she wants more integration, more majority voting, more supranationalism in Europe. She actually would like us to bring Europe a little bit backwards, going towards a system where we have more unanimity voting, where we have more vetoes, where the nation states are at the center of European politics. And she, in a way, she wants to put Italy first. That's the way she would like Europe to work. So it is still within the European context, but with a completely different stance from the one that has been put forward, for example, by the Draghi government or previous governments in Italy. So I would say this is, if she goes on with these ideas, is a major change for the Italian position in Europe. But contrary with what she believes, instead of putting Italy at the center of the European politics, these kind of stances will put actually Italy much more at the margins of Europe.
Very interesting. And so Meloni has continued to be linked to fascism because we know of the party's early roots. But how has she managed to negotiate that, and turn that reputation around, and even that of her party for that matter?
Well, the fascist past in Italy, as you know, the fascism is against the constitution, so she could not overtly be fascist even before, but she was a member of the party which inherited the legacy of the fascist party of Mussolini, which is the Movimento Sociale Italiano, Italian social movement, and she was one of the members of the youth organization of the MSI when she was only 15, so her past belongs to this kind of tradition. She moved forward to become what she now calls a conservative party or a party which is much more moderate, but we still have to see what it means for her to be more on the conservative side. In a way, this is a little bit of a fruitless debate, because the reality is that if she has to become a prime minister, everything would be, she would be judged on the kind of policies she will implement, and these policies have, at least during the electoral campaign, they've been outlined quite clearly, and they are honestly conservative policies in social terms, as you were noticing, but also in economic policies which have to do with the idea of cutting taxes, especially for the rich. So this is a conservative and not really a progressive approach even to economic policy making. And that could put Italy again in a weird position, because cutting taxes means usually having bigger public deficits, as it happens, for example, in the UK. This is what is happening in the UK. And in Italy, however, is even worse, because having big, our public debt is already big enough. We are on 150% of our GDP, which is a huge public debt ratio, debt to GDP. And if we increase this public debt, we can run into troubles with Europe.
All right, Leila Talani, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you so much for King's College London.
Thank you.